As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah.
And good afternoon, and welcome to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert and Dawn. We are here. It's September 8th. Wow, we're already in the fall. I don't think I was ready for the fall. I like summer, actually. And so, but I guess I don't have no choice. It's here. It has made me completely exhausted from the change.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know what's happening. I was at Zumba last night. My legs felt like lead. I woke up this morning and was getting dressed and heading there. And I was like, the body says, no, you can't go today. And then it says, but you're going tonight, so you're going to get some done today. So I'll be there tonight for the fundraiser.
Absolutely.
But I've been struggling all week. Am I the only? Are you been?
I can't tell. Well, you've been doing double duty lately, so I'm not surprised.
Because I got a lot of little stuff.
You've been
happening.
doing a 6 a.m. boot camp,
right?
Circuit training, and then you've been doing your evening classes. So okay.
Yeah, so I've been a little bit exhausted. So you got to check that out. I don't know if that's going to work. We might have to make some adjustments. So I've always in the past. I thrive on light and I thrive on sun. Mm-hmm. And then so in the morning before when I would come to the 6, it was light. And, by the time I got in the car, it was light. Now it's dark. And then when I get home from Zumba, it's dark. So my body's like, okay, it's dark. You're supposed to be asleep. And then I have been doing a whole lot of work lately. It's like all of a sudden everybody realized that I'm not teaching right now, and everybody's calling me every 5 minutes. Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? So I'm.
You're the networking diva. You can't be surprised.
I know. I'm like working 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. So I am in the process of changing, and I'm going to help you with that in a minute. One of the legs has to go down.
Okay.
In changing how I do business. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting ready to do a workshop called QuickBooks Train the Trainer.
Absolutely.
So I'm in charge of training.
I've been waiting for it. It's here.
Yeah, so I'm going to train some individuals so that I can farm out some of the smaller jobs that I have and start to create my own network of people.
And I will be one of them.
You will be one of those. So, which is a great, and then I'm going to do an online class that's about creating your freelance business. Yes. And QuickBooks is a great, or accounting and bookkeeping is a great freelance because, you can just structure around a tax season and make quite a bit of money. So that's some of the things I'm doing because I'm trying to alleviate all of those so that I can start speaking and traveling
more frequently,
yes. And doing bigger stuff, training on bigger levels. And
I am super excited for you.
Yeah, so that's
my bestie's growing up in the world.
I'm growing up, so I'm in education mode, training mode, and all kinds of stuff is going on. So what about you?
Pretty much the same thing.
Same thing.
I'm excited. Tomorrow I speak to Macedonia Baptist Church, to a group of women there. I was there a few weeks ago. It was awesome.
Okay.
We talked about eating with wisdom. Honoring God with our body and eating with wisdom. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh, that should be fun.
They called me back to share some more. So,
okay.
I'm going to share with them reading labels and all that good stuff. Got a whole program rolled out. And then I'm also going to be back there again on the 29th. I believe it's the last Sunday. Listen to this. The last Sunday of this month. We're going to do, actually, for 11 o'clock service, we're going to do a exercise worship.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm excited about it.
Very progressive church.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to encourage all the parishioners there to take better care of their health. Besides, you're going to stand and have to give an account for how you take care of this body that God's made you a steward over. So.
And I think that's excellent because actually this week has been an interesting week besides everything going on in crazy Washington. But I've had several friends that have called me that young members of their family has died. So my business partner, Jackie, who runs Recycling Black Dollars with me, Her uncle, I believe, he's 58 years old. He died of a heart attack, or we're not quite sure. All they know is he went to the bathroom in the morning, and his wife went. It was about 4:30 in the morning. She woke up and she's like, "Well, where is he?" And when she was looking for him. Went to the bathroom and he had died. So I don't know whether it was an aneurysm or he had a heart attack. And then Gilbert Buchanan, my co-host here, his mom died last year. Our co-host here, he died last. She died last week, I believe, but she had lived she was in her 90s, and then one of my really good friends, I've known her for a long time, and I have like 5 women that I kind of grew up with, and we grew up in our 20s together. So her niece, who I want to say have to be in her early 40s, she died. Her daughter found her. So, and she died. We're not quite sure what went on, but she had a lot of stuff going on in her world. Her kids were growing up, so it's that empty nest syndrome. She had just gotten a divorce, and so they found her. So it's been a rough week. And then, of course, the owner of the station here, Felicia Morris, her dad died, pancreatic cancer, prostate cancer last week. Oh. So she's making arrangements for her father's funeral. Right. And it's so funny, when I was doing bookkeeping for a church, they were one of my clients, and it was a pretty large church. It had about 5,000 to 6,000 members. And when I first, they were my clients for about 6-7 years. But when I first went there, I thought, wow, what happens in September and October? It was like there was a service every other week, and by the time you got close to November, December, it was like they were in a rush. They were running to get out of the year and get out. I'm like, where are you guys going? What is going on? Because every week there was a service. So the fall tends to be that. I don't know what it is about it. But
the holiday seasons are rough for most people.
Yeah, it really is. And so, that's a hard thing. So my heart goes out to all of you guys.
Absolutely.
I lost my mom a number of years ago, and it's a rough thing, but you just have to hang in there and just know that they lived a good life. And if you were there doing the end and helped them make that transition, then, it helps the grief system a little bit more, not best, but it does help a little bit. So my heart goes out to all of you, and you're in my prayers. And if you need anything, just give me a shout out. Yeah, so that's it.
It's rough.
It's rough. And then we have the crazy Washington, D.C. with the crazy man who is a crazy president. And this morning there was some 1-2 punches because my real president, he spoke this morning, and he wasn't playing this morning. I just love Obama.
Your real president.
My real president. I don't know who his other joker is, but my real president, he had a say-so this morning. He even it has been over the past. He hasn't called his name, but the day he called him out. And so on my Facebook, I put, it was pow, bam, 1-2 punch.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because it's time for some accountability.
I'm just surprised it's gone this long.
I know, but they have a different agenda.
Absolutely.
It's a different agenda. But I am proud of Nike. They stood up for Colin Kaepernick, and now he is working. He's got a good contract, and I think I heard Ford is getting ready to do something with him.
Exactly.
So that was pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome. And being the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars, it's time that we see people see everybody in this country for who they are, and it's not based upon the color of their skin.
No, not at all.
So that's pretty cool. Have you seen and I just checked it out yesterday, it's called The Shop with LeBron James. They're doing.
I saw that.
Isn't that awesome? That was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
awesome.
that was having Carmen and it was so funny. I was watching the first one, and Snoop said, wouldn't it be great if we all just came together and worked together?
Right.
And that sounds like me. That sounds like that's my mantra.
Everyone was waiting to hear that, though, right?
Yeah.
We've been waiting to hear it for years.
Because he was talking about how when we go to other countries, we are well accepted by everybody. And of course, our culture, our music is adopted by everybody in the world. So they like our culture, but they don't like us.
They don't like us.
And so he was saying it's
because
different.
we don't like ourselves, for one.
Yeah, that's one thing.
If we come together,
yeah, so that was
we
kind of
demonstrate
cool.
something totally different.
And and if we learn who we are and accept who we are, so that'd be great. That'd be great. So what else you got on the horizon, Miss Dawn?
Oh well, relationship-wise, it's looking a little bit better.
Oh,
I'm just joking.
Do tell.
No, I'm just having fun. Pay me no attention whatsoever.
You don't have no time anyway.
No, but I said that because I'm looking forward to our show on relationships, the single woman, and
yeah, we just our guest today is Alicia White Matson, and we had an interesting conversation a couple weeks ago on how to get your man to listen to you,
right?
And it was pretty much across age group in the room, and so it was a couple of young women in the room, and I've been dating for a very, very long time.
Have you?
And yeah, I have. I calculate.
You didn't take a break for a little while?
I have taken many breaks in between, but I started dating when I was 17, and so I have. My reference book is quite different, and I've actually learned how to have conversation over the years with the different men, and being a single woman and not married is a little bit different because your conversations don't have to get that deep. Right. We're never arguing about finances because we don't ever get to that place.
No.
I've lived with
every time we go out, you paying. No, I'm just
and I've lived with a couple of guys, but it's still, we weren't commingling.
But it was really a joke because if we're not dating, if we're getting to know each other and we're not exclusive or we haven't decided I want to do this, but in the just getting to know part, I help in paying for the meals sometimes. Yeah. Because I need to go out often to get to know you. So I don't want to be in your pockets that deep. So I do pay for the meals sometimes. So I'm just saying. I think
reciprocity is important. But I do think the first date should be on the man.
Absolutely.
I think so. Because I think
the first few. And then if I haven't made up my mind, it may take me 6 or 7 more dates. Okay, then I help. Yeah. It shouldn't take you this long.
Right. And what do you think if you call him to say, let's go hang out, what do you think? What's your opinion on that?
Interesting enough, if you call a man and ask him to go out, the man is expecting you to pay. I found that out.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, but that's some man. A friend of mine said, no, a real man still steps in. You come ready to pay, but a real man still steps in at the end of the day and handle the bill. If he says yes to the date, he'll step in and handle the bill. Now, that's the stuff that Dr. Chris Rowe's gonna talk to.
Okay. Yeah, because you never know. And I've gone out with some guys, different men on how they think about it. Like Gilbert, actually, I've tried to do that a couple times. Oh, he gets angry.
You try to do what? Pay for it? Because he's a real man.
Yeah, he's like, that's not, that ain't gonna happen.
He's the new millennial. See, I be trying to date those new millennials. Because I look so young, so, I'm getting like 20 years old, 21, who don't know the game yet.
Right.
So I'm asking.
Our producer's like, what's up?
I got to take my pocketbook all the time because most of the time I ain't got no money.
Yeah. Now, my younger nephew, my oldest nephew, he's one that's
just joking.
He likes to go Dutch. Well, at least he did before he graduated from grad school. The youngest one, he goes, oh no, that's my role.
Really?
And so my sister.
And how old is he? How old is the baby? Just like I like him. How old is the baby?
He's still a baby. He's 22 though.
Oh, perfect.
So it's all perfect. So he said, so he was doing something. His mom said, well, you don't have to pay all the time. He goes, yes, I do. That is my role.
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
He looks at, he goes, right, Auntie Kristen? I said, you're absolutely right. I said, but don't let a young lady take advantage of you.
No, there's a difference. Cool, you know when you're being taken advantage of.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about that here. I make you feel like a king while you spend all that money. Baby!
Well, that's kind of the role, right? He feels good about himself, and at the same time, you're getting to know each other. Right. And you know what? I think, though, that some of the issues with dating today is the role reversals or not knowing what each other's old roles are. And so it'd be interesting. I think we're going to have Chris on one day, and we can actually have that conversation.
Hopefully real soon, because I need to know. I'm trying to date.
You're trying to date, so you want to know the right way to date?
Up. Absolutely. Because this 80-year-old guy, he's 82 to be exact, he tried to ask me out, and I just didn't know what to do. I said, me? You really want to go out? I said, where we going, first of all?
Wow, that's a big age grab. So
I was like, my dad's 72. Come on now.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I get them all from 20 to 70 to 80, 20 to 84.
But wait a minute. They do know how much you work out, right?
Oh, he told me he's a fitness professional. So back in the day, during his era of fitness, they used to have what's called a 1-pack. So he showed me these pictures of him of, before it was just round muscles. So you saw the round shoulders, the biceps just round.
Right.
Wasn't much definition back then. So he just had this round, 1-pack. It was smooth. Asking, he posing and I'm like, oh, nice. He was showing me his pictures of when he worked out.
When he worked out.
Back in the day.
So what happens in this day?
Oh. Yeah. He can barely walk. He was.
And what are you going to do with you?
I think Alicia's seen him. I have no idea what we're going to do. First of all, can you even eat? Right. Excuse me. I'm not joking on this one, but it's like.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna take hours waiting for him to finish his food. Do I need to chop it up for you a little bit more?
Right. Yeah, see, no. Here's
I'm dead serious right now.
I went this guy that I went out with, and I already knew that we were on two different spaceships. Yes. Right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm very active. So in addition to all the Zumba and all the stuff and the dancing and and playing tennis, I actually love bike riding.
Do you? So do I.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So
I have a bike.
You have a bike?
I'm very athletic. I do it all. I kickbox.
Okay.
You've seen me. Don't act like you ain't seen me.
I know. I've seen you do that.
I can't ride bikes.
Standing upside and twirling around.
I do it all.
Yeah.
I am your everything trainer.
Everything trainer. So we went. So he wanted to go out, and I was like, okay, let's go bike riding. So now he played tennis, but that's different than bike riding. Right. So we went down to the beach. And we got on the bike, and we were on the bike path, and I said, okay, we're going to go from, I think we were in the marina, and I said, so we're going to ride down to Manhattan Beach.
How old was he?
Probably not too much older than I am. Okay. And he goes, oh, yeah, I can do this. So I can do this. So I was like, let's go. So we get on the bike, and we're riding, and I kept going, where are you? He's like, way back there. And then he's like, can we rest? Can we rest a little bit? So we were resting. I said, look, it will be next week when we get to Manhattan Beach. We cannot keep resting.
Hilarious. He was your age?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So that's the issue with me dating men my age.
Mine as well. They look at me like a deer in headlights. Like, when do you actually turn off?
They don't know you like the ever-ready bunny, huh?
At 8 o'clock, I'm just getting started. I'm like, I get a second charge, I guess. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So men my age are a little challenged, even though I met someone that actually can probably keep up with me.
Well, that's a good thing, because
he got a little belly though, but
I have not met a man in my age group.
Really?
That can even come anywhere.
If they work out at the gym, we're safe because they have a little energy. But if they don't work out, the first question I ask, do you work out?
Yeah, because that should be very important to you.
A 45-year-old man that works out, he don't have to really necessarily, I don't like a whole lot of muscles, believe it or not. You don't have to have an 8-pack. You just need to, at least have, just enjoy the gym and have good eating habits. Because I'm not going to be a pork bunny messing around with you.
Right, because you know what happens that I have found when dating men that don't work out or not as active, all they want to do is eat.
Exactly.
And then a couple months later, you're like, what the heck has happened to me? My clothes not fitting. Cause
I go to movies and you want to buy me my own popcorn because you want to have your own popcorn and I'm fat.
Right,
I'm eating the whole
and then nobody's looking at you, right?
Nobody. It's bad enough I got short hair and I'm brown skin, 2 strikes. This one guy was like, you already got 2 strikes against you, so you got to come hard with the body. I was so offended. But that's another story.
Wow.
That's a story
so
for
we got to have that conversation as well with Chris, because that's the interesting thing.
Real interesting.
When people are dating body parts.
Exactly.
And you're absolutely gorgeous. You have absolutely gorgeous skin. What the heck is he talking about?
I know. Y'all see me. Don't act like you don't see me out there in Hollywood.
So what is he talking about? We come in all kinds of colors. We don't have to be in one.
Long hair, short hair.
Wouldn't we be boring?
Absolutely.
If all women out there was one
Not if all of them acted like me, they wouldn't be boring.
Well, that's
but if we all acted like maybe you.
Yeah.
No, you're not boring. You're actually very exciting. I can see you having a hard time finding a date. But we're going to find one because Chris is going to come over and tell us how to do it.
He's going to have to tell you. Yeah, mine is more the business that I'm in, or the type of business that I do. intellectual, because I need somebody on that level, and and being able to stimulating and to have that be able to have an intellectual stimulating conversation, and that doesn't just wrap around sports. Right. That is kind of broad, that you can talk about various
things, and have someone you can have fun with.
And someone you can have fun with. Someone I watch, and I do this purposely. I watch a lot of foreign movies, and usually last night, this week, I was watching a series. They were Korean, and it was a young girl, and this guy fell in love with her. And it's interesting premise, but the Indian movies and the Korean movies and the Chinese movies, they make amazing love stories.
Right.
And so she made a comment. She says, when I look at him, I see me, and I see an amazing me in his eyes.
Oh, wait.
Is that a line or what?
That's a line right there. I like that. If you call and tell me that, instantly you'll have me. I'm yours.
So you'll hear that again.
Say that again.
When I look at
you, slow down.
When I look in his eyes,
when I look in your eyes, Dawn,
I see a better me.
When I look in his eyes, I see a better me. Yeah, is anyone out there that can make me feel that way? Making my plea.
Yeah, make your plea up. But yeah, so I thought that was an incredible line.
That's cool.
And then his line to her, he was asking her father for her hand in marriage. And he said to her, he goes, "She is my destiny, and I cannot imagine myself without her. And so I'm graciously asking you, may I marry your daughter?"
Seriously?
Yeah. These are
that's going to happen to me. All that, somebody's going to call my dad and be like, I want her for the rest of my life. I believe God can do it.
Yeah, that's what he does.
I don't care what. Yeah, I believe he can do anything. And he's going to also make him love me forever.
Right, exactly. So that's what that was.
For the rest of my life. You stuck with me. So if you don't want to be stuck with me for the rest of your life, don't call. Okay? Okay.
Deshaun says, hello, Crystal and Don and Alicia. I got to catch the reply going into session with a client. Have a great show.
Angel Gaines says hello.
Hey, Angel.
Terry
how
Jefferson
are you?
says hello.
Hello.
Angel Gaines is the best.
How are you guys? So today, our conversation today, since we got three powerful women in different stations of life, we're going to talk about women. First of all, this is about the best time in the world to be a woman. Even President Obama said yesterday, he says, we need more women that are in government, that are running for offices. He says, because this country right now needs women. Because we just bring a whole different flavor to business. We already do what we do at home, but there's so many attributes and so many components to who we are and what we're made of, that when we really embrace our power and share it with others, it's really a powerful experience.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And then Miss Alicia's here, and Alicia she works in the corporate world, but getting ready to step out over into our world, Don. And so we're going to talk about women and their second act and what that looks like, and why that's actually the most amazing position to be in, because one, you're retiring for a company with a pension, so you going into business with money, as opposed to the rest of us.
That's a win-win.
Yeah, we done bootstrapped ours, right? So, and they don't even have to go for a loan, man. They got if they choose the right business and really plan it out. That's all the elements for success.
Yeah, that is.
Plus,
and
all
have
that
a bestie like us,
and have the besties like us, and also bringing their corporate life experience to their business. So that's
what Alicia talks about the best.
Yeah, because it's a different movement. It's a different thing when you see how a successful company runs versus being an entrepreneur and kind of figuring it all out for yourself. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring Miss Alicia on. And you're going to introduce her?
I think you just did.
Well, no, but you.
Okay.
You're too funny. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and doing this great conversation. If you guys want to call in and give us your input, and as well as ask any questions of Miss Alicia or myself or Dawn, you can call us at 323-293-3375. This is the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Dawn.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yes.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
All righty, and you are back with the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Dawn.
Hey! And if you're watching live, you just saw a little video clip that I put together of some of the amazing guests we've had on the Business Zone since its inception 2 years ago. And we're looking for guest guys, so that was one of the reasons I created that video clip. So if you're interested in coming on the show and talking about your business and highlighting what you've been doing in the community to make a major impact, whether you're a business, nonprofit, we want you to be here. So give me a call at 323-447-7272 or reach out to me at contact us at the Business Zone with CrystalAndGilbert.com. Talk to you, and then we'll get you on the show as well.
Yes.
So who do we have?
Let me say this first. Every opportunity I get to brag on this young lady, I'm excited about because she is very, very modest about what she does, what she has to offer. She's absolutely amazing. She is the founder of the Bella Network, which is a network about bringing women together and helping us advocate for one another. And she represents her company very well. She's the recipient of the Women of Color Award. Yay! For 2018 or 17? 17. But she's going to get it again this year. Over the years. She only got, how many more weeks to do it? It ain't too late.
That's not too late. She got
She's also
she got 3 whole months.
3 whole months. She's also the recipient of the Game Changers Award. And I believe she got that because of the work that she's doing with the Bella Network. And I'm just so excited to call her my friend. She makes me look better.
Aww.
Yeah, she really, really does. So I claim her every opportunity that I get. Miss Alicia Madison. Yay! Welcome.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. And I have a new thing to brag on.
Oh.
Because now I'm on the board of directors for Let Us Incorporated. So it's a nonprofit out of Compton, and they're doing fabulous work in the community there for women and families. So I'm really excited to be a part of that as well.
Yeah,
That's great.
when you do your nonprofit work, I think that I don't know if that's more rewarding than your for-profit work. For me, it is. I sit on a board called Pete Brown Junior Tennis Program, and it's very rewarding. Very rewarding. Besides RBD and some other organizations that I work with, I love that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm trying to catch up with you, Crystal. Because you have a whole list. I have one. Woo! On a roll.
You have other lists that I do not have. And, again, being single gives you different opportunities than when you have a husband and a household to run.
And a new child.
Right. Alicia has become a mommy.
For the first
grandma
time ever.
mommy.
Yeah, Nana.
Nana. So how are you enjoying that new title?
I absolutely love it, but I have to say praises to all mothers, because I don't know how I would have done it with the baby, because this is a lot of work.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's 8. He'll be 9 in a few months. And 1 month he'll be 9. It's a lot of work. Just getting them in school, getting them ready for school, getting them up in the morning, making sure they leave out on time so you can be on time. That's hard.
Yeah, doing the homework. You got it. So if you come in and want popcorn for dinner, can't do that. You got to actually fix a meal for them. It's hard.
Like my dogs, I could just look at them and tell them to go sit in the corner.
Right, put their food over the corner and keep stepping. Yeah, I can't do that with a live child.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That should bring a whole nother dimension to you.
But it brings a whole nother sense of appreciation for women that I never really had to experience.
Right.
I mean, I have stepchildren, but never really had to mother them. So this is really new for me.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, though.
Yeah, I am as well. I think when one time you put something on Facebook and I told you the secret to motherhood is having a whole support team.
Yes.
And I've always been a support team.
Okay.
So when my friends that had kids, which all of them except for 3 of them have kids, I would go in and step in and say, okay, I'll take them today, and we'll just go hang out, you and your husband or whatever, go to the spa, do whatever you want. I got them for the next couple hours.
Well, the good news is you already got that in place. You got a village of folks.
So I do. I really do.
So you're way ahead of the game.
I am way ahead of the game.
And you're married still, so then you have in-home help.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not a single parent.
His father's there, so my stepson is there, and we're putting a lot of that responsibility on him, too.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, that'll say that this will give you a broader picture of being a full-on woman, huh?
But and I think it's just going to make your conversation even that much better. I believe that's how God works. He's giving you the stage to talk to women. Now you're going to be able to relate to them on their level.
Right.
So, I'm super excited because I think you're absolutely amazing right now. without the baby experience.
I know. Huh? Right, exactly.
And he, at the last minute, he gonna drop in the key.
I know.
Right,
Just really,
won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Well, no, what's funny is this is what you need to take you to the next level. Was a
I
baby.
guess so. It's a baby, huh? Oh, but he'll tell me real quick, Nana, I am not a baby. I'm a young man.
He's so
man.
handsome,
Isn't he, though?
big boy.
He is
He's
cute.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So, but I do want to say that he's also mine. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm
I
willing
can't
to
wait.
share.
Yeah, I look
You
forward
said you
to
want
spending
to
some
share.
time.
I'll share.
I want to spend some time.
I
with
called
him.
Yael and I said, Yael, you do know we've added you to the pickup list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it requires that. Sometimes you can't get to my sister and the kids. When she couldn't do it, I was always there to pick the kids up, and that helps out a lot.
I'm looking forward to
and it's
it.
good for the kids because they know that there's an extended body of mom.
She told me today he can go with me for whenever you want to pick him up. See, but most of my friends know I babysit him in your house.
So you'll be taking off.
Just in case I need to call you.
Make
You
sure
can-
the refrigerator's
exactly.
full.
You know,
Right, exactly.
y'all can't go nowhere.
We are right here at your house, the only in-house babysitter.
Yes.
So tell me, Alicia, so what we're talking about today is women. And when we look at women, and this kind of segues into that, because in a household, generally, the woman is really who makes the decisions for home for buying, the home furnishings, how the house is decorated, what family vacations you're going on,
Right.
any purchase, health care, anything to do with running her household.
Yes.
She's the one that usually has the final say. Her husband usually is just like, whatever, baby, whatever you want, because if he wants to make her happy. So being able to, and you budget. Women have, I used to say to my mom, she could take a nickel and that nickel would spread so far. I don't know how she did it.
Right.
But women know how to budget. They're incredible nurturers.
Right.
So it goes without saying how incredible they actually can be
Yes.
in a business environment. Because you bring all of your skill sets
Right.
with you. And so my question to you is, working in corporate America, are you able to display all of Alicia?
Yes. So the position that I have, I would say yes. The budget side of it, I think one thing that is really important as you're transitioning from corporate America to entrepreneurship is the concept that you may not have a budget
Right.
for your business. Whereas I'm so used to having a budget, and not just a budget, a large budget.
Right.
And even if I go over budget, I still have money to play with.
Right.
So that's something new that I think corporate women have to acknowledge as they start their own business and they transition to something that may not have the
Right.
budget. But yes, I love the fact that working in corporate America, I do get to use a lot of my skills because of the position that I'm in. I work in business development, and so it's a part of, it would be like the traditional sales and marketing.
Okay.
And so that's where my passion is. I love dealing with people. I love dealing with the customer. I love analyzing and trying to figure out and strategize what's the best way to approach a customer. So I get to use all of those different skills. But in most corporate positions, the answer would probably be no. Because
Yeah.
if you have a day-to-day routine, you're usually doing pretty much the same thing. You may, if you're working in finance, then you're focused on numbers. If you're working in strategy, then you're working on the bigger picture. If you're focused in marketing, then you're focused in on marketing. Because I work in the business development side, I have to look at all gamuts. I have to deal with all the different organizations. And so that brings a different aspect for me, which actually is what helps me with the Bella Network and doing a lot of the workshops.
Right, exactly.
Because I'm dealing with all those different organizations and I'm having to learn what they do and have a better understanding of, what's going on from their
You can turn it around. Just don't put it back.
from their,
We're fighting
from their
over Alicia.
perspective.
Right.
So that gives me that key opportunity to really understand, well, what's going on in business management and with the budgets and what's going on within our strategy organization or what's going on within our marketing and customer service organization.
Right.
So I get to see all of them because of the area that I work in.
Which is that's exactly what it requires to run a business. So that's fantastic. But I know from coaching a lot of women that Candace says all of that's right, budget, and still have money. And hello, beautiful Alicia and Crystal and Don. It's so true. And I think, Candace, you came from a corporate environment well, right? And opened up your own business. So definitely shout out. And if there's no customers in the store, you can reach out and give us a call. But one of the things is, because marketing is a big part of running a business, right? And most of our small business owners don't set budgets in order to make that happen. So their businesses stay quiet. Right. Nobody really knows. And whereas in your company, you guys have major budgets for marketing, right?
Yeah. So most corporations would spend on average between 10, 15, depending on what type of business it is, they could spend up to 30%. On marketing because that's their biggest draw. And now we can't just think of it as traditional marketing. We have to think of it from social marketing all the way to traditional marketing. So it's TV marketing, it's radio. Right. I mean, so you have to be in a position to acknowledge that there's all these different avenues that you have to go down.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just have to figure out for your industry, for your business, what's the best marketing venue for you to leverage so that you put your money in the right place. But you have to have money for marketing.
Yeah, and you do. And I think today it's really, and if you don't have the budget, then of course, as entrepreneurs, you and I know that you have to become creative in how you market.
Because marketing is everything. If you don't have a good marketing plan, your business is not going to go too far. So you got to have some money for marketing.
You do. And if you don't have that dollar, then that's a skill set. I think if you're going to learn any other skill set besides what you do, learning how to create marketing tools, understanding how social media really works. You've got a great grasp on Instagram. I understand Facebook, but I'm not all that great at Instagram. So, and then I was just...
It's pretty much the same.
It's the same, it's the same. It's just less words. So I have a problem with the less word part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, because I have a problem with all of the marketing you do on Facebook when they want just a picture. Like, I can't tell people what, the picture, it requires some words.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is, being Alicia's best friend in the world, I had the opportunity to see her develop some things for her job. Downtown, working with the Sparks. Yes. She had a budget and she put something, which just watching her over the years do some of the things that she does in the corporate world just got her ready for this game changers award that she won.
Because you do a phenomenal job, girl, with her marketing, with the website and presentations.
But this brings up a different side of marketing. A lot of us think that marketing is just TV and radio, but marketing is also leveraging the people you know. So like Crystal, for you, we call you the networking queen. Right? And so that is also a part of the marketing. It's who your tribe is. And if they're speaking on your behalf,
absolutely,
that's marketing. So if those people are in a position to actually know what you do, what you're about, and speak for you on your behalf, then they're your advertisement. Absolutely. You got a walking billboard of your tribe.
Oh, for sure.
They have the knowledge to be able to say, oh my gosh, I need you to connect you with such and such business, such and such person. That's marketing.
Yes.
And it's interesting. When I first started my business, I kind of built it to a word of mouth, and when we had when the recession in 2007 took place, I didn't even know how. And now I teach this all the time, but I never actually in my own business had to put together any kind of marketing, anything for my business, and it was all word of mouth. It was just the strategic people that I network with that referred everybody. So after that happened, and my business changed because there was no money for anybody for me to bookkeep, so I had to create a marketing plan. I'm like, whoa, this is deep. I've never done that. It's so much easier to do business when it's a word of mouth. Now I'm back there. In fact, almost too much.
And when you don't know what to do, the power of having that tribe, a team of women. Because we all know marketing on a certain degree. Some you may know a little deeper, but when we don't know who to call, right? Alicia's amazing at marketing.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Well, traditional marketing. I'm still trying to figure out this whole social media stuff.
And we're talking about traditional marketing. I think we all have a great handle on traditional marketing. I think part of my career when I got the opportunity to train with Steve Harvey and some of the other celebrities the people I'm training with now is because of the way that I marketed myself for them to turn around and say, hey, I'd like to give you a try. So I think we all got a good grasp on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
social media is a little bit, because it's obviously brand new to most of us. And you being in it says, Leisha, I love the lesson you taught us. Teach your family and friends what to say about you. That's a very good one.
Yes.
But yeah, because it's more than a notion just to go on Facebook. Someone called me yesterday. And, we take our knowledge for granted, right? And what's Facebook been around, 10 years now?
Yeah.
About 10 years?
Yeah.
So, we've all kind of embraced it and grown with it, and it's changed, and you always have to change with it. So this lady called me, and she is like, okay, and she's an older person. I need to get my business card to get the image on my Facebook cover page. And I was trying to walk her through it, and she wasn't getting it. I'm like... Okay, I got this. There's got to be a better way to do this. So I'm referring her out to some actual class because that's not what I do. I don't teach you how, because I do it because it's part of business. But yeah, it's a special finesse to do the digital marketing.
Right.
But even the words
consistency
that you would have to just the quick-witted language that they use now on social media. I'm long-winded. I want to tell a story.
This is why I believe you post to Instagram first, because it forces you to get the out. Because people don't read long. They don't read long books.
Right. Yeah.
They don't read. So to get to that quick information, you post on Instagram first, and then those things can be shared on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So if I post there and I get the language right there, I get everything I want out, and then everything's because I go to Facebook first and I got to condense it.
Right.
I said so much, I got to figure out what I want to say over here. But I start there, and then I post. That's what I've been taught.
Okay.
See, I'm used to that whole, I need evidence, I need benefits, I need this, I need to know the story, I need to know the
We
back.
need to say enough for to pull them in that want more information.
But I need credibility.
Alicia writes a book.
Yeah.
But it's
now,
okay.
what I've
Just put game changer.
what I start doing
Hashtag.
is I actually research. So if I'm going to do like my workshop, so on Train the Trainer.
Yeah.
So I went out and looked at some other flyers.
Right.
And I looked at some verbiage and some advertisement. And so of course I made it my own, but I used theirs.
Yeah.
I used the premise of theirs, so it's kind of short and sweet and to the point, but in
because you got to get those catchphrases that are popular now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to do that. Now that's the one thing when you're doing network, you're sending out your e-blast. So there are actually sites that are called subject title generators.
Right.
And you put in your keywords. And so I use a lot of those that eye-popping, eye-catching, get your attention when it comes to your email.
Yes.
And then you can actually look at so this is for you guys out in listening land. So look at the emails that you're receiving, that are e-blasts, how they catch your attention, because there are some that you like, oh, let me read that, right? And that's what they're using. So that's what I use.
I guess I'm still old school because these catchy phrases don't catch me.
They don't catch
like,
you.
Look,
Tell them the name of what
this
you're using
email.
again. Tell them the name of what you're using again.
It is actually called title name is subject name and subject title generator. And you just Google it, and when you Google it, it'll pop up, and then it tells you what you need to do. Is if I'm doing a workshop on QuickBooks or trainers or whatever, and even your blogs, and there's one called Blog Title Generator. So you can just plug it in there and then use your keywords for the subject that you're going to work. And then
Awesome. Awesome. This is the kind of stuff you learn when you got besties that are master networkers and game changers. That's all I'm saying. This is what I roll with right here.
So you don't have to figure that stuff out yourself.
No, I just call. What is it, Crystal? Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when I first started my business, everybody I knew were working. So I had nobody to call because they were all working in some capacity in all types of industries. So it had nothing. Nothing pertained to my business, and so I had to learn some quick, fast
But now, a lot of things that you do in your business, as Alicia shows you, rolls over to that entrepreneurship. You learn so much.
Yes.
It helps you.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. And that's why it's great where she is when she makes that transition.
Right.
But now there are so many women that we know that are really starting that second act.
Right.
And this is one of the things that I found when I first started coaching was when people leave one job, it's like they left all of the thinking capacity at the job, right? And so it's like they're starting brand new with a new whiteboard and I got to learn everything. No, you learned a lot. So I tell my students when I'm teaching, only thing you left behind was the pass key, security pass, and your keys to the front door.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything else that you learned while you were there at the University of Corporation is yours to take.
Yours to take.
Yours to take. And the really critical thing is that even some of the contacts that you made that may have been working in different areas that you may not have gotten deep knowledge in, you can still reach out to them too.
Yes.
You know, and so if you create the right relationships and the right friendships and make sure that you stay connected, then you're able to reach in and pull that information out from them. You know, that you can make that a quick phone call on a Saturday or after hours or invite them over. And people love showing what they know and sharing and helping. A lot of times we won't ask because we think that it's a burden, but people like to help and like to support people they like.
They like it, exactly.
So if you were likable, you can find people that are willing to help you.
And you can reach out. I mean, that's phenomenal. It was you interviewed Pat Watts with me. Was it? She's the younger with California Build.
Yes.
And I thought her story, she had worked at Edison. And then she left Edison to start her own consulting business. But at the same time, everybody, they were no longer using they had eliminated a department. So she went back and got all of those individuals that was working on the project with her and became the consultant.
Yeah.
I mean, how easy. And I've heard men do that all the time. Yeah. And I've done that a couple of times where my bosses now, when I left, then they brought me back in as a consultant.
Alicia's story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, because this is what I found from that. When I was an employee, sometimes my suggestions and opinions didn't carry much weight.
Right.
When I became a consultant,
exactly,
it was like I was E.F. Hutton. Did you experience that as well?
Yes.
Okay. Did you too?
Yes. I'm going to tell you, it's also a style of talking to people. When people are paying you an hourly rate as a consultant, they have more respect for what you say because they know that they're paying you on an hourly rate. But once you become inside the company, they don't see you as an hourly rate person. They see you as 24/7 for them. And so you're not as expensive. So a lot of that, I think, has to do with they're trying to get as much out of you in the shortest amount of time so that they can get you off the book.
Right.
So they listen to you and take what you're saying into consideration. And then plus, I mean, you come with the fact that you were hired because you were knowledgeable. Not to say that people...
And they forget how knowledgeable you are once you're there. Yeah. That's one of the other stories that you have. You're there for a long... I tell this story, and I probably mess it up because I love this woman to death. I think she's just really amazing. And I could be... This is the way I tell it, and I'm not changing it.
Okay.
So
I tell so many stories. I see which one this is.
That she's worked... She was doing consulting. Well, she was with the company, left the company, and then they had to call her, pay her more. This is one story. They paid her more money in a month. They did the whole year for her. This is how awesome she is. And that's true. Yeah. Verbatim, right? Yeah. And then I said there's this other story that I tell that she was wasn't invited into a meeting, and she stopped by to say, hey, you guys need any help? No. And they kept, why? We don't need you right now. So I thought maybe you may want the person who wrote the handbook in the room with you. That's a true story. True story. So that's just goes to what you were just saying. Sometimes they forget about the value that you have once you're working there because you're there 24/7. But as a consultant, you were you're still the bomb.
Yeah. But that has always blown me away. That when you come out, you're like, oh, why? And it could be a week. Yeah. It could literally have been a week when you were an employee. Now you're a consultant. They're like, what a brilliant idea, Crystal. Like, didn't I just tell you that last week?
Yeah. Well, so in the example that Dawn is giving, I worked for this one company. I'd worked for them for 9 years. I had all this experience and all of this information. I kept telling them what needed to happen, what we needed to change. They weren't listening to me. And so I had the opportunity to become a consultant for Ernst & Young. And so I left that company and became a consultant, and that company had to hire me back at EY rates to do exactly what I had been telling them for years.
That's a story there.
Yeah.
And that needs to be in your book.
For years.
That needs to be a whole chapter in your book.
They had to pay huge money.
Wow.
And so it was
And they could have got it for free. They could have got it really for free.
Yeah, and so when they found out that I was the one leading it, it was just hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah, that would be great. And those are the experiences, I think, when we share, and I think that's a niche that the Bella Network can really, because there are so many women leaving out of corporate America now. They may have worked with a company for 20, 30 years and moved up in the company, and they're still young. Their kids are gone. Yeah. This is a perfect time for a woman to start starting her own business, and especially a business that she's passionate about.
Yes.
I think your second act should definitely be something that you have massive passion for, so that it's not work. You don't suffer when you wake up in the morning going, oh man,
you have to enjoy it.
You have to enjoy it. And so I think that's a valuable niche that is not being met, because I know I coach a lot of them, and they don't have a support team.
Right. And I think one of the things that we as women do is we don't realize that those traditional titles for roles or even businesses, we're not limited to that anymore. There's so many things that we could turn into a business that people are willing to pay for now.
I know.
That you can market because of the internet and social media, and people will pay you money.
They will pay you money. I mean, look on YouTube. Candace says she's doing her passion. Her second act is she always wanted to be a stylist and to have her own boutique. So that's her second act. So you don't mind working the 24/7 for that. But yeah, you can create a business just about anything. If you love to bake, and you don't necessarily want to open up a bakery, but you can create a blog and just write about and take pictures of stuff that you make all the time.
Yeah.
Or if you're a seamstress, you can teach people how to do that online. You don't even have to, or blog about it as well. Layla, she's created a passion business where she
has the magazines, and she's into fashion, and she gets to go to the events, and and she's living her dream life.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. This is the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Dawn,
and
Alicia.
Okay, we'll see you shortly.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
And we are back at the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Dawn.
And
Alicia.
Okay. So we are here. We're talking about women in business and women creating their second act, women using skill sets that they've acquired in their corporate world and now using those. And if you haven't moved into your second act yet, this is what I did. I would go back into corporate America when I did work, and it's been a long time. I've been out of corporate America for about 30 years. But when I needed a new skill set, I would go back and I would work for somebody, and I'd let them. And I would go look for web seminars and things and workshops that were that I wanted them to pay for, and then I would go and I would acquire all that knowledge, and then I'd give them about a year, like you'd be doing in the military. Yeah. And then after that, I'd hand in my notice, and then I'd go and add that on. That was my strategy.
So this is your second act?
Yeah, this is your second act? Yeah.
Okay. This is your second act?
This is probably my fifth act, but okay. Remember, I'm part Jamaican. I got 10 jobs, Mom.
Well, I mean, I got 4 jobs in the second act. But, I would say, because I started out.
This
well,
is
actually,
not my
this
second
is my
act.
It's not?
No.
Yeah, I actually, I started out in
Well, I see
finance.
that in terms of you have something else you want to do, right? You have something other things.
Yeah, now my next act, I guess, which that'll be my third act.
Okay.
I want to actually become a speaker, an impactful speaker.
Well, you're kind of doing that now.
Internationally.
And you are impactful. You want to expand your speaking
I want to
brand.
expand
so
my,
I don't want you to say you want to become. Because you ain't going to practice on my stage. So
okay.
you want to change your name. Seriously. I'm serious.
No,
I'm expanding my speaking brand because you're speaking now.
Right.
I want to become they're going to be like, she ain't going to practice on my stage, so I'm going to expand my speaking brand. And my speaking career is going to
Well, you want to get
focus
paid.
I want to get paid.
No, she gets paid now.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's what you're saying. We got an audience listening.
Yeah, so we got to expand.
How much you get paid is totally different, but you get paid. Right?
Yeah, I get paid. Yeah, just
I was getting that $20,000.
Yeah, I want to expand the brand. I like that, expand the brand. And I will, and an author. That's my next. That's on the horizon. That's on the horizon. I've been working on that throughout the year, and that's what I did my vision board. That's what I do for the first of the year, and set my goals. And so I'm kind of like, I'm right on track.
Right.
Yeah, so then I'll start up again in December on what that next year is going to look like.
Awesome.
And I think it's important. So fifth act. So what were the last four?
Well, let's see. So we have the real estate business.
Okay, that's your
I used to
entrepreneur
actually sell real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And
Okay.
that was definitely an act for her because she currently owns property, so that was a successful first act.
Uh-huh.
Well, I started in Washington, D.C. I sold real estate in D.C. I sold, my first house that I sold was to one of the basketball players.
Oh, really?
So my first house was probably one of the highest, I made a lot of money off that.
Yeah, in D.C. with a ball playing. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like Alana. Alana's like, okay, let me just go for the big time luxury marketplace.
Yes.
I don't want the little bitty person. I think that's a smart move.
And then after that, I started a print services company. And so we would print and sign and do stuff envelopes. It was called Avion Incorporated.
Okay, I think I've heard that story.
Have you heard that story?
I think I've heard that story.
So made probably my first $1 million off of that business. It
Okay.
did really, really well. And then silly me decided I wanted to get a corporate job. And so I kind of let that go and went corporate. It was a few of us. We were working at Howard University. And,
Okay, yeah, I have heard this one.
Yeah. And so we started that. One of our big clients was IBM.
Okay.
We did all of IBM's business for their newsletter. So...
and so what was the driver? Just because obviously you were at Howard, so you were coming out of college. And did you feel because of... What made
needed
you
money
think
because I wanted to go places that I couldn't afford otherwise. And it was a good way of doing business late at night, and it was about 6 of us that did it.
And so what made you want to then go corporate?
back
You
into
didn't
corporate
think
America.
that was
Because
the
we
real
never
deal?
saw that as a job. We never saw that as being entrepreneurs. We just saw that as money.
And that's because of what you knew about entrepreneurship back then, was it as what you know now?
Yeah, it wasn't what I knew
it's
now.
different.
We just saw that, and we were able to get some high potential clients because, okay, and I'm going to tell you guys one secret that we did was we threw one of the biggest parties in D.C., and you only could come if you were our clients.
Exclusivity.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
So people wanted to be our clients in order to come to that big event.
Oh,
Awesome.
okay. Yeah, and it's interesting but at that time, I think, obviously your parents had sent you to college. And so, of course, the end goal was not necessarily start your own business. The end goal.
No. Actually, I had already graduated from undergrad. This was my going to grad school. So I left and went to D.C. to work. And then while I was there, I went to grad school.
Okay.
And while in grad school, I was in night school at Howard. Then we started this small business.
Okay. Well, look what you had been if you had stayed.
Yeah, I probably would have...
Look at that.
Yeah, it would have been a different life, but I love the life I have. So
Okay. All right.
It would have been a great life, but you wouldn't have been changing the game.
You just would have been expanding the game, right?
For female entrepreneurs.
Right,
So
exactly.
we thank God for the change.
And so then you went into corporate. So
then I went into corporate and stayed there for 9 years. Still did real estate, but just did real estate on my own because in corporate I kept getting moved around, so I couldn't maintain the real estate license anywhere.
Okay.
And let's see, from there I just did side things. I went into consulting, so a lot of the work that I did was consulting.
Okay.
And then, you know what? I also sold pre-need insurance at Angela's Funeral Home.
Oh, look at you. So underline that you're really a salesperson.
No, I hated it.
Really?
I'll tell you, the only reason why I did it was my best friend at the time was doing it.
Okay.
And that was a way for her and I to hang out.
Right. But the interesting thing is all these jobs, hated sales, but you're the best salesperson I know right now. You can sell. When you talk about the Bella Network, when you're out there, you know what you do when you talk. You've learned over the years how to sell yourself and how to do it well.
I do traditional sales very well.
Right.
This newfound sales, I'm learning again. It's that social media thing. But the traditional sales, yes, I am really good at that.
Yeah, because you close very well.
Yes.
And I think that even in the social media world, you can't close it. Right. You just can get people.
That piques the interest.
Yeah.
When they call you still got to close the deal.
You still got to close
I get people call me all the time on social media for work, for clientele, call to train. So it's what systems or processes, things I have in place that will close the deal. I have to, it's about taking them through a process. I walk them through a process, and then I close the deal after that.
Yeah, it's funny too because I've had so many people that will get me to go with them places because I can close the deal for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alicia is amazing at introducing folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing folks
I taught her well.
That's from Candace.
Credit.
So in your bag of tricks, because you have a lot of skills that you've developed on your own, and as well as, what is the most valuable strength that you think is you've acquired from your corporate world?
Well, we're going to have a seminar. So the Bella Network is doing monthly workshops.
Okay.
And the workshop that we're doing in September, I think, is one of the key things that has made what I've done throughout my career successful.
Okay.
And that's being able to talk to anyone.
Okay.
You got to get your face right. So, we talk about that. You have to have the marketing and being able to close, but you have to be able to open. You have to be able to start the conversation. And so I think that's something that I do well. And my husband says it all the time. He's like, oh, Lord, she going to go talk to that person, because I literally will talk to whoever is standing there. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the day, I know who they are. I know what they're doing. I know how to leverage them. I have their information. Mm-hmm. Or if not, at least I have something from them that I could leverage and use in my back pocket.
Okay.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't see as a talent and don't see as a gift and don't see as necessary for running their business.
For my business, the way I get my clientele, I have to talk to, I talk to everybody. If you come within 3 feet of me, I'm talking to you.
Well, your body talks for you.
Well, still, it might talk, but it don't close the deal sometimes. Yeah. My personality, when I let you into my, oh, she's nice. I say hi. Yeah. Where are you from? First thing, where are you from? I talked to a girl today. I complimented her on her hair, and she's like, well, I was looking at you. You must be a trainer. I said, yes. I need your arms. Well, let's do it.
Yeah, and I think for you, I would say your outgoing personality, and
tell me more.
And you have a comedic side to you.
No,
which makes people very comfortable. I said comedic, and makes people feel very comfortable. But at the same time, I think you're real.
Say that again.
You are real.
Absolutely, because I have real friends.
So, she's so funny. But I think that's a strength for you. I think because when you reach out, besides the fact the way you look, you're actually a walking billboard for your business, which is excellent. Because, there's some hairstylists out there that are not walking billboards for what they do for a living. So you should
hilarious.
Right, exactly. But you are. When they see, and then when they hear your story, they see that, wow, this could happen for me. And then you're very passionate about what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's it. And for you, Candace says you're authentic and transparent.
Yes.
And I think what I liked your passion when I first had that conversation on the phone year before last.
After I introduced you to this great woman.
Right. And you also are a great networker. I think we're all amazing networkers. But when I had that conversation with Alicia, we just connected. And you have a passion for the niche that you're
she has a passion.
Well, and I try to not beat around the bush or over glamorize stuff. I want to get to the point, and I want to be honest and truthful. And some people don't embrace it right off the bat, but most people will embrace it because we don't have time for me to give you the fluff and make you feel good. Right. Let's just talk about what we need to do, what we need to accomplish, and do it.
Yes. Yeah. And so what I like about the both of you, and I think is an amazing strength, and this is one of the things that I look at when I bring people into my world, is that you are, this is what I want to do. And we're executing next week.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas some people, they got to meet, they got to talk, and it's like 6 months, and you're like, are we doing this?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just do this.
Yes.
It sounds like a fantastic idea. You got my green light.
Yes.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about both of you guys.
I mean, because when we think back on that first women's conference that we did, I mean, everybody told me, oh, no, it takes a year, at least, maybe 2. It took us months, and so we went in there, we talked, it was done.
Right,
So
exactly. And I think that's what I like best about people, making stuff happen.
Absolutely. That's why I hang around you ladies.
Yeah, because you're like...
you guys are not just talking. And it makes you raise your own game. When you see other people that are doing what they say they're going to do, it makes you step out on faith and trust and do it.
Right.
But that's the art of communication, because you have to be able to communicate clearly and effectively what you want to do and what you want to get across, so that people can either embrace it, make changes to it, and then move on. And that's the art of communicating. And a lot of people don't know how to, or have a hard time doing that.
So what day is that seminar going to be on? September?
So that's going to be on September 22nd. I actually had to change the date because now I have something to do on the 29th. So if you originally had it on your calendar for the 29th, please change it to the 22nd.
The 29th was the last month in this Sunday or Saturday in this month?
Yes.
Did you change it because of my event?
No, I had to.
Aren't you going out of town?
I have to go out of town.
You do, right?
But I'm back on the 25th. I'm back on the 27th.
Oh, okay.
You're leaving
and I
town?
leave on the 26th.
The show that I'm going to actually air, we have so you're going to have to go with me, because you were going to go anywhere. I was going to tell you, Alicia's going to be out of town.
Okay, and then I'm going out of town the following week.
You may have to stay. Something else is going on with me. You may not be able to leave at all.
Oh, no, I got to do the Impact Africa trip. So I'll support you on the 27th.
Nothing else is happening.
Yeah. And Candace says, I love the title generator, and I will never create another email without it.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay, the show was successful then.
Yes.
Somebody then taking a tip from
At least one person.
Yeah, one person. So it is, Candace is amazing. So the next thing is, but you've done a lot, so this is probably not going to apply to you, but for other women that are leaving corporate America and starting their own career, what would you say is a weakness for most individuals leaving? Don't you know, Mike, she on the show?
I know, huh? He's not listening.
For other women that are leaving corporate America, what would you consider a weakness to starting their own business?
Well, we talked about one, which is really understanding, how to do a budget and how to restrict yourself on how much money you spend on things. A lot of times, people that have come from corporate America want to have the best, because that's what you can get in corporate America.
Okay.
And you can't do that on your own dime. It's just not feasible.
And you also mentioned how women don't really realize the experience that they learn. They forget. They leave their brains at the job. They don't take their contacts and all. You mentioned that as well. So we talked about two.
Right. And then the third thing that I would add to that is about leadership skills and being able to delegate. Many times when we go into our second act, we go in as employees versus as leaders. A leader is somebody who wants to make sure that they have time to do the vision and understand the direction and strategy of the company. But if you're starting a business and you're going to be the worker bee all the time and there's nobody to delegate to, that may create a problem for your business. So making sure that, like what Pat Watts talked about was how she was able to pull the resources from the people that she knew. You want to make sure that you create your team, and your team could be your accountant, your lawyer, and get all of those people so that you're getting that information and you're doing it correctly.
Yes.
And be willing to pay for things.
Yeah.
You can't be cheap now because it's your money. You have to decide what's important, what's critical, and make sure you put the money and the time into those critical areas.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, because the leadership skill. So I would say, if you are actually thinking of when, everybody knows probably somewhere between five years that they're getting ready to start retiring or planning for their retirement. And I would say they would need to start in making sure that they could go get leadership training if that's a weak spot for them, or marketing skills or networking skills. Because depending on your job, you may not be out there amongst the people. You might not be the one that's bringing in business to the company. You're the one that's actually executing the work.
Right.
So then you tend to be a worker bee, right? But you have certain skills. So be able to start planning, because the worker bee part is great.
Yes.
But you also have to know how to lead, because the ultimate goal is to hire.
Right.
Yes.
And have employees.
Yeah.
So you need to know
I
that.
tell people all the time, you don't want to create a career for yourself.
Right.
So if you're the worker bee, if you're having to do all the work, you're just paying yourself to be the worker.
Right.
Right.
That's not, to me, leading an organization, leading a company. I mean, my thing is when we call ourselves CEOs, chief executive of ourselves,
Right,
instead
exactly.
of
I'm going to fire me today. Okay, I got to hire me back.
Yeah.
I can't get the work done.
So are
exactly.
you creating a business, or are you creating a career for yourself, or you're just going to do all the work?
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
And you would agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'm in between. I'm in between having a business and a career.
Right, exactly.
But at the same time, I realize that my business is a little sensitive. When I had the studio, I've incorporated the efforts of other people. We were 12 years I had a studio. I have my first studio over on Venice and Manchester. I had teachers there. And being a small business, it can be a little challenging because you employ people and then they walk out with your clientele.
Ah, yeah, especially in your business.
Especially in my business. So I was really hesitant and just careful in the process of hiring folks for me. And then I end up doing the work anyway because people take off. They have things that come up and I got to be ready to stand in there. However, there's ways that I can build this brand in this industry and build it to a way that I have a business that's taking care of itself and I can actually wake up when I'm finished sleeping. So that's what we're in the process of creating.
Yeah, because I think we all are in that position when we first start, that you're wearing all the hats. But I think ultimately your goal is to get to a place of being able to duplicate yourself, so that other people can carry on. I've
learned that duplicating myself doesn't necessarily have to mean I'm creating other mini me's to actually run my business. I'm duplicating I got another way I'm doing it.
Right.
Okay.
It's going to be
technology should be a key part.
It's going to be absolutely fabulous. So I'm looking forward to it.
And that's kind of where I'm going in the direction of the online training, because so that way is one, you can definitely generate more income, and two, then I can bring on individuals to help execute and do the lead up to making sure that the workshops are all in place. Now, the way I've been able to do as much as I've done is because I partner with people. So every thing that I do, there's a partner, so that we're sharing the weight of that load,
right?
And we're utilizing, combining all our skills and experiences to create this business component. Everybody brings something to the table,
which is one of the key tenets of the Bella Network. Is it should always be about collaboration. Who can you work with to make whatever you're doing bigger, better, more efficient? How can you partner with someone? And we have to make sure that we understand that collaboration and partnership doesn't always have to be about money. It could be about time. So it's not like saying sell half your business to a partner.
No.
You could create a partnership like with Candace. She created a partnership with Manly Hands. That's a partnership. There was probably no money exchange. And so or you could have called that a collaboration.
Right.
Or, just what we're doing with, the Bella Network and the conferences. That's all a collaboration because all of us get a benefit from it. So.
Exactly. And we're helping each other's businesses
exactly.
when we come together to support others. And I think everyone has a different, there's a misnomer about collaborating and partnering. They only see the bad side of it.
Right.
But you can do so much more with someone else or a team of people than you can do by yourself, and you can reach your goals faster, I think, than trying to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
So one of the ways I've collaborated as a trainer is I put people together who can't afford my personal training. I put them together to share the same time, so they benefit. And I'm smiling.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They share. So I've collaborated in about 3 or 4 different boot camps or circuit trainings, and they work incredibly well. So I meet a client who can't afford what I want. I say maybe you can bring 1 or 2 people with you, and we can talk about the price then.
Yeah,
and it works.
And that's a great selling methodology or strategy.
Because I keep a lot of my time.
Right. And even when I do my workshops, if I collaborate with a corporation and offer the services to them as one blanket, then they can bring in as many people as they want.
Right.
And then at the same time, I can still bring in individuals that I'm reaching out to, but I can actually cut the cost.
Yes.
Because of the fact that I have a corporate person actually purchasing it. And then I get all my seats filled.
Yes.
And so so for those of you that are out there, if you have a hard time filling up a room, then that's one of the ways, is because I'm sure, depending on what you're offering, there is a company out there that is willing to sponsor it if you will make it beneficial for them as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so you don't have to always think in onesies. We have to get out of transitional operations.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's what you do on a corporate side. You guys don't think of onesie, twosie sales.
Right.
You think of bulk sales, right? And even you, because you want classes.
Yes.
Right? As opposed, you'll go for your high-end one-on-ones because you'll be compensated for your time the way you should be compensated. Whereas if you're onesie-twosies you're not going to get compensated.
I don't want to have a schedule of 20 people, one after another after another.
No, that's too time-consuming and too exhausting.
I can get the same thing done with more, actually, when I incorporate people together, and then I have more testimonies to talk about.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. More testimony, more people talking about me.
Yeah.
Well, and even as an entrepreneur, when you're thinking about your pricing, you can't use it as, here are all my bills for the month. So I'm going to get this one client for the month. I'm going to make sure they cover all my bills.
Right.
So if you see yourself as, I'm going to collaborate on this, I'm going to leverage this, and so that allows you, like you say, to have more clients. And so then, you make sure that your pricing is comparable to what pricing should be for whatever services you're offering, versus needing to make sure that one customer covers all your bills.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you shouldn't be thinking that at all. You should be thinking bottom line, the percent, your profit, what that should look like at the end of the year, and back into it, so that you'll know what you need to do in order to create that. Right. If you say, okay, I want to make sure I increase my income by 15%. Okay, what do I need to do to increase? And so that's thinking. I guess the concept, and when we went to the Power Network conference, and all of them, when you look at people that are doing online businesses, is in units. You're looking in units. Right. Yeah. Which is how your corporation looks. Yes. Right? Northrop is selling planes in units. Right. Exactly. So we talked about the strengths that we bring away, and we think about the weaknesses. So when we look at a business, we're thinking of our and I just learned a new term. I was at a capacity building. So there's SWOT, which is your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Right. And we kind of actually talked about our opportunities just now by being able to do that. But I just learned this new term, and it's been around. I know Tesla uses it. It's called SOAR. So strengths, opportunities, aspirations, and what is it? Reflections, I think. No, results. Okay. Results. So when we look at our aspirations, so what are your aspirations for the Bella Network?
What are my aspirations for the Bella Network? I want it to help women. So it's about the connect, the advocacy, the empowerment. So so if I look at 5 years out, I really would like to see more Fortune 500 corporations that we've started or we've created as women, where we're leveraging each other to build them. And so it's getting us to a point where we're no longer just seeing ourselves as solo entrepreneurs with these really small micro businesses, but actually developing and partnering and collaborating and combining efforts so that we're creating corporations that are large, Fortune 500 corporations. I would also like to be able to see some of our women actually seated at corporations where they're in executive positions. I mean, now we currently have some women there, but I would like to see more African American women sitting in vice president and CEO seats where we've, leveraged each other to get there. Just like I see non-black women doing that for each other and making sure that they get opportunities and they get the right skill set and they're put in the right positions to be able to be pulled up into those ranks.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we find our ways to have a seat at the table where decisions and policies are being made, especially when it pertains to us as women.
Yeah.
This is what makes me say that you're going to be successful, because every time you're asked a question, your answer is consistent. And usually when you ask someone, what is your aspiration, what's your desire, and it's all about what they want to do, whether my company's going to do this. And your desires and aspirations is that women are. You've been completely consistent at that.
Well,
you
decide I want to retire. If you're asking for my personal aspiration, I want to be sitting on a beach.
But for the Bella Network, it wasn't. Yeah. It was still about women, women sitting at the table, about women becoming, building bigger and larger businesses at Fortune 500 companies. Your vision has been the same every time I talk to you.
And the sad part is that we had black women that were CEOs, and now if you think about it, we don't. And it's creating that pool of women so that we don't end up with that first black woman this, first black woman that, and then we're like, well, where's the second? Where's the third?
Exactly.
Where's the fourth? That's what we're missing.
Right.
And I really want the black women organizations that are out there, which includes the Bella Network, to make sure that we create that succession plan.
Right.
That we have access to the women that are in those positions so that they see us and they help to reach down and pull us up, or to keep that pool, that line of women coming, so that when the opportunity is there, we're ready.
Right.
Right, exactly.
We can step in, we can take it on. And, so that's what I want to see.
And I think that the way we do that is, I put up a post the other day on Facebook, and because so many people say that black people can't work together. But my post was, if you belong to a fraternity or sorority or a church, you are working together, right? And in any organization that you're working, a lot of our nonprofits are headed up by women, and they're working with other people in order to achieve their goals, right? So we can't. What we need to do is elevate ourselves up to a place where we're making an impact, right? You can't make an impact. You got 6 little small nonprofits working for the betterment of children, and it's just those, and you're each individually working together. You need to reach out to create your conglomerate of power, because we're much more powerful in numbers. And when we support each other, there is nothing like black women or black people, period, coming together to support each other.
When we decide to do that, absolutely.
I think those stories are just stories, because what happens with us is when 1 or 2 or 3 of us have a problem, we declare all of us have a problem.
Right.
And that's not the majority. That's the minority. So maybe those 1 or 2 had the problem, but it doesn't mean we had the problem.
Right? Exactly.
But yet for some reason in our culture, we accept that situation as the majority. When we really look at it, it's not the majority. There are a lot of black people, black organizations that are working together and doing phenomenal work.
Exactly. And so, but of course we don't hear that. So again, it comes back down to us telling our own stories, right? And making sure those stories are out there that people, so one of the things, we don't pat ourselves on the back. So we need to be out going, I'm doing this.
It's okay to talk about yourself.
It's okay to talk, because people need to know that you're doing this, so that when they go to do it, it's like, oh, wait a minute, Alicia's doing that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to call her and see if I can get her to help me do that. But when we don't pat ourselves on the back and say, this is what I'm doing, this is the impact I'm making in this space.
Right.
And I'm here to help you. Just ask me, reach out to me, and I'll help you do that. But I think it's our story. Someone else is telling our story.
Yeah. Well, but they got to hear it first, like you said. I can't tell you a story unless you tell me what you're doing.
Exactly. So that goes to the art of communicating with anyone, because so many of us have a hard time telling our stories, and sometimes I say culturally we're taught to not share our business, because we see it as our business. Like what I do where I work, to me, I want to tell people and share, because how can I help you? How can I connect? If you don't know that I work in an engineering company and you want to be an engineer, then you'll never know to ask me for help or connections or make sure I understand what your desires are. So we have to start sharing and being more open to talking about and bragging on what we're doing and what our interests and our passions are and where we work and what skills we have. We have to start talking about those things to be able to partner and share and collaborate. And I can't be so secretive.
Exactly. And I think the social media is that place where you can tell your story, right? I mean, you can share your triumphs and if you got an award or like, wow, I didn't know that about you, or yes, you used to sell real estate or you did this, or you had a print service. So if I had questions, you may not be in that industry now, but I could ask you questions and you could help guide me or, guide me in that direction, But I think you're absolutely right. We have to be willing to tell our stories and not just fragments. Not fragments of who we are. We need to let people know fully who we are. So one, that when you go to reach out to them, they're like, oh yeah, she's the real deal. And yes, I want to help her be successful.
So
and be truthful.
Who's teaching the workshop on September what?
September 22nd.
22nd. Where would it be held?
It's going to be held at a secret location that you only get after you register.
And how do they register?
You can register online, either on Eventbrite, or you can go to thebellanetwork.com. So www.thebellanetwork.com.
What city would it be in, at least? People who think about coming, they need to know how far they're coming.
So it's going to be somewhere in L.A.
So who's teaching the
seminar? We haven't really honed in on the spot yet. Who's teaching it?
Who's teaching the...
I'm going to have multiple people teaching it, so it's multiple people. And again, for the Bella Network, if you've ever come to any of our workshops, you know that they're workshops. So literally everyone in the room has the ability to add to the conversation and to let us know what you think your tips are for doing it, and tell us your stories. And we're going to all learn from everybody, but we will have a person that's going to lead and facilitate the session.
But you don't know who that is yet?
I do know who it is. But, this is what I think is different about the Bella Network from other organizations. It's the topic that should get you there. And I understand a lot of times people want to know, well, I need to know the person. But do we really know the person until actually you get to meet them and understand them? Now, if you value me and say that I know a qualified person and I'm capable of giving you really good content, then you should just come because of that.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
I'm going to have some really good people in the room that are going to know and understand how to talk to anybody.
And I think that communication is big. Being comfortable to communicate what your skill sets are and what your lacks and weaknesses are, to be able to reach out to ask people for help.
Yes.
And support.
And sometimes it's not heavy hitters or big name people that are the ones who can teach you that the best.
Yeah, there's some talent. There's a lot of talent out there. Yeah. A lot of talent. I'm having and here's for me, I think the biggest weakness for a lot of small businesses is managing their financials.
Yeah.
I think it limits them in so many from acquiring so many different opportunities. One, knowing how their business runs and what it takes to what their expenses are, to really understand what that is and to know how much income they're generating, and then to be able to project out for the next year how to increase those revenues, and also to identify other revenue streams. I think that's big, where you have full accounting departments in corporations to do that. So one of the things that I think people have to think about is multiple streams of income. So if you have a quest and like numbers, then one of the best freelancing businesses out there is being a bookkeeper. And so that's how I started my business. Well, actually, I was a consultant. I taught people how to use computers, but then I recognized that there is one skill set that everybody's going to always have to have, I don't care until we stop making money.
Right.
That is understanding how to manage your books. So I'm teaching, it's called Train the Trainers. So I'm teaching you how to create your freelance business. And I'll give you, our first step is to teach you how to use the software QuickBooks. And then after that, I'm going to start doing an online series on how to create your whole freelance businesses.
What day is this going to be?
The QuickBooks class is going to start September 17th through October 8th.
And where would it be held?
It's going to be held at the Los Angeles Urban League.
And who's going to be teaching the class?
I am.
Okay, heavy hitter. She's going to sell some tickets.
I want to go.
I am, and I tell you, this is something I've been using QuickBooks since it started in 1988, and I've been using that software since that time frame.
Wow!
Is this the flyer for the event?
Can
you send that to me? So
I will.
That for you?
So you're going to sign up. The class is a $99 for 4 weeks. Can't get any cheaper than that.
No, that's awesome. Break that down. That's how much a week?
Right, exactly. So that's the class that I'm having, and it's called The Opportunity Through Retraining in Technology. And so I'm going to teach you how to use QuickBooks. And so there you go.
Well, I have to say, you are also one of the speakers at the Bella Network for our annual event for the Bella Network. Yes.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the Bella.
And you're teaching on what?
And I'm networking, how collaboration, and how to use all those.
I am super excited. We know who that speaker is.
Yeah, that'd be me. What?
Are you having the same host that you had last year?
Yes, I am. I'm having the same host. She's phenomenally talented.
Oh my God! And I heard
do something.
Yes, she's cute.
And I want to acknowledge all of our sponsors too for the Bella Network. We're going to have HP. HP is our head sponsor, our top sponsor again for this year. It's really wonderful. They're going to do. It's going to be about STEAM, how to make sure your business, I'm trying to get the right title,
right?
But it's going to be how, to make sure STEAM is a part of your business to keep your business relevant.
Is she coming to speak again?
I hope so.
She was absolutely awesome. Was it 2 years ago she spoke for us?
2 years ago.
And what was her name?
Leslie Brown Slayton.
Have to be your cousin.
Yeah.
It runs in the family. And she is the what? Chief Executive Officer?
Chief Diversity Officer for HP. And she's won a lot of awards. We could literally spend the rest of this time bragging on her, on all the awards that she's won, and all of the fabulous things she's done with HP. Gotta get her as a speaker
to my church for the youth, for the STEM.
We should honor.
We should
honor an outstanding woman in the Bellas.
Yes,
I think we should do that. That would be, lifting. Candace, the phone number is 323-293-3375. 323-293-3375. Also, what I'm doing is on the 19th, this is the 17th, launching on the 19th of September, we're going to start doing weekly digital marketing workshops at the Los Angeles Urban League. It's going to be taught by Armin Santos, who is a digital marketer. And he's going to teach you how to use all sources of social media, but as well as how to generate income from an online platform.
Wow!
So that's all your affiliates marketing, which huge thousands and thousands of dollars can be made from that. How to create a blog and how to use a vlog.
Yes,
we have a call coming in.
We do. Wow.
Hello, caller.
Hello, it's Candace.
Hey, Miss Candace, how are you? You just couldn't take it any longer, huh?
I had to call in.
I couldn't type fast enough to ask the question about the class that you're teaching.
Yes.
So when I read the invitation, it looked like the full topic was QuickBooks, but then you mentioned that there were several other things that you're going to teach, and I saw that it was 4 weeks?
Yes, it's 4 weeks.
Okay, but each week, is it a different topic, or it's still on all of QuickBooks?
Well, I kind of start with, I think one of the things I found in my teaching this subject is understanding the basics of accounting and why you're managing your books and what your outcomes are going to be.
Okay.
And then I teach, if you're using QuickBooks, how to make that happen. It's more than just put your expenses in, put your money in. It's really what the tools and the reports are supposed to do for you.
Right.
Awesome. And what's the cost?
$99
For the 4 weeks?
for the 4 weeks.
That's awesome. Because when I went, it looked like it was, I saw the number 15. I was like, okay, I don't see how these two go together, or four go together. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's $99 for the 4-week course.
And are you going to teach the class on, what was it? Getting certified. Are you redoing that class?
Yes, we are going to be doing that class when Gilbert gets back and I find out what his schedule is going to be. Then we probably will running that class in October.
Awesome.
And that's the certification class.
Yeah, that's the minority certification class, so that you can start doing contracts with corporate and government and federal individuals, which is an amazing resource of money for most businesses. I was telling somebody that the other day that it's so much easier that you can say, I got a 5-year contract from a business and I'm going to make X amount of dollars, because you can plan around knowing you got 5 years to make $1 million a year.
Yes.
You can do some amazing things as opposed to assuming or dealing with transitional, which may or
Right.
may not be returned or reduplicated.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, you have selected an awesome date for your QuickBook classes, and if your certification classes changes to Mondays, I think that would be phenomenal.
All righty then. Well, actually,
Pushing for Monday.
that'll work. I can finish up this class and we can come right behind it and starting the following week with the certification class.
As Candace says, you could always come and do it at her place.
Right.
Yes, definitely. Can I close her, Alicia? Help me out here. Help me out. I
Okay,
need a closer.
yeah, there you go. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
We could actually do industry by industry that way, couldn't we?
Centrally located, plenty of parking. It's a great atmosphere.
I think I like that idea. I think that's much more creative.
It's so
Yes.
much easier to get to.
Okay, well, I will mention that to Gilbert. I think he would not have a problem with it. He can jump right on the freeway and get back home. So I like that idea.
And it's free.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty.
All right. Thanks, ladies. I appreciate it. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Appreciate all your efforts in our community.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate that.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so for the rest of the year, because I don't start teaching back at Mount Sac until the spring. So I will be doing a whole bunch of a large number of classes, depending with it. But the plan is to actually get it online, so I can reach a larger number of people.
Great.
Absolutely.
But some classes, QuickBooks classes, tend to do better when I'm in person.
Yeah. Well, at the Bella Network last year, when you were talking about the person's going to come in and do the social media, that was when Layla did it, that was one of the highlights of the conference, was to learn about that. So to get more time with someone would be fabulous.
Yeah, this guy is he's awesome. I mean, just lives and breathes this stuff. And when he was sitting telling me, let's partner and collaborate, I love that. That's my favorite 2 words, Candace. When he was telling me how much money I could make just being affiliate, and how much money that I have seen just pass on by me because I refer people to stuff all the time.
Right.
Or people,
affiliate.
right. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, I could have been making, when I do my business plan classes, I'm telling people how to go to this, go to GoDaddy, and I could be making GoDaddy money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Bluehost. And
Yeah, you send them to your website, they click your GoDaddy link.
My link. Yeah, so I am excited. I'm probably more excited than he is. But also he recognized collaborating. And so he knew, this is Armin I'm talking about. He knows that I have a pretty extensive network. And also he wants to help our community.
Yes.
So he had called me and he said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And so I want you to do it with me. So I'm going to be doing it with him.
That's awesome.
And so that's awesome. But the other piece that I really liked about his program is he has a mobile app development that is kind of a DIY. They give you the platform, kind of like using Canva. They give you the platform, and then you go in and customize it to your business.
Yeah.
So that's $300 a year for that. Now, if you were going to actually have an app made for your business, it could cost you, he told me, about $10,000 for them to customize it to be exactly the way you wanted it. So he's going to do it for $300 a year, and then you always have resources. You can always reach back in, and they can help you make changes and what have you. But it has the same. If you want to do I think he called it geo planning. So you send out a flyer. You're having the fundraiser tonight, right? So you can send out a blast to anybody that was in that, driving around in that area. It's like, hey, we're here at the church. We're having our fundraiser. Come on by. That kind of stuff. So so he gave me, I have mine. Some decorate. I'm customizing it now. So every business should have its own app. Yeah. Which will then, and definitely the Bella Network, so your events, and kind of almost like when we were at the Power Network, we knew exactly what classes was going on. We could upload our pictures. We could do all that. So that would be perfect for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But one of the things that when you talk about technology that you have to stay abreast of is that a lot of the things that we're leveraging and using today are going to be totally different next year and the year after that. Oh, yeah. So what you talked about with the apps, so a lot of people have gone into business to create apps for other people. And you may be out of business because the new technology allows people to create their own apps.
And that's actually why Armin, he did this. He said because, one, you're only getting a certain percentage of the market that could afford to pay you for creating a big. He was like, oh, this is a much bigger, $300 is much easier to deal with, right? And get your own app. So he's reinventing himself.
Right.
There was something that Snoop Dogg said yesterday on that new show that I was watching called The Spot. He told them, they were asking, how is it, man, that you have been able to stay relevant in a industry where young people are coming up all the time? He says, because I don't like to be second. So he says, when it looks like I got to take a backseat because there's a new hot rapper that's coming out, I take myself to another level. Right. So he has reinvented himself and created new businesses because he says, I don't like to be second. So I'm always analyzing, oh, whoa, okay, and especially the industries he's in, and because these guys were going, how could you be? Because he's almost three decades of being in that space. But there's been some amazing rappers that have come along, but he's the king of rap, so to speak. But now what he's doing, a talk show with or cooking show with Marcus Stewart.
He keeps himself relevant.
He's always elevating. And I think we all should be.
And out of the box stuff. Who'd have thought?
Right.
A cooking show.
Right.
And he's into the religious side, so he's doing gospel.
He's doing gospel now. Right. And so we all know he's always been in the cannabis industry. So everyone thought he was going to buy a cannabis, once they made it legal. No, he is the actual investor for the financial software. So there's 3 products that you have to use if you're depending on what part of that industry you're in. So he's provided the money. So
straight out of the box stuff that we wouldn't.
Isn't that out of the box? So now he's behind the financial software
where we wouldn't think it would be.
Right, thinking he would be in a store.
That's how I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
But that goes back to what we talked about. Was you don't have to look at it as what are the traditional positions and roles and companies. Think out of the box and come up with, try to figure out, be ahead of the game.
Be ahead of the game. So, it's like I told the kids when we were at the business camp. What are the pains that people are dealing with? And then you create a business based upon that. And it doesn't have to be a brand new type of business. It could be an adaptation of a business that's already out there. Right. DIY apps.
Yeah. Well, the best business now to talk about that shows that is Dry Bar. Think about it. All the salons, that business has been around for years. This woman literally came in and took so much market share off of a simple concept.
Concept.
And she's doing fabulous.
And there's some young ladies, there's 5 of them, and I got to get them in here on the show. There are 5 of them that created a hair extension. It's called, what's it called? Weave. They're right there on Manchester. They actually have 3 locations, and all they do is they do Alicot weaves. So and they have their own hair, but they'll do anything you need to do when it comes to hair weaves. And the other thing is, she offered, hey Trizay, how are you? She also offered 5 of her co-stylists an opportunity to buy into the business.
Right.
So now they're all business owners, and so they've opened their 3rd location, and it's called Just Weaves. That's what it's called. It's on Crenshaw and 108th or 107th, somewhere around there. So you go in, it's a beautiful place, and you come with your hair already washed and braided, and then they just add the weave onto it.
Wonderful.
So it's like a weave bar.
Yeah.
It's like dry bars. I think that's absolutely excellent. So there's so many wonderful opportunities out there. You just need to step out there on faith and go after whatever your passion is, and not be afraid. And think out of the box.
Absolutely.
And do everything you can to make sure you're continuously retooling yourself.
Yes, got to retool. That's important. So we're about to come to the end of our show. I want to let y'all know we're having on September 11th the Recycling Black Dollars second Tuesday of the month networking breakfast mixer is at 8 o'clock to 10 a.m. at Denny's Restaurant at 3740 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles. The fee is a meal purchase of at least $10. It's a Black-owned establishment. We want to always support our Black-owned businesses. Our speakers for the day is going to be Constance Anderson. She's the director at Pacific Coast Regional Small Business Development Center, and her topic is how PCR and SBDC can help take your business to the next level. Our second speaker is Mr. Gregory Winston. He's an author, he's a motivational speaker, and he has written a book called Opting for Opulence. It's 14 strategies to master selling in the luxury marketplace. So he's going to give you tools on how to improve your sales immediately following that meeting. So you definitely want to come out and support RBD. So you can go to our Facebook page and sign up there. There's an event there. Or you can reach out to Jackie B at 323-449-2099. Anything else going on, ladies, that we need to let the world know about?
Well, hopefully they're planning to be at the Bella Network Conference. It's November 2nd through the 4th. Friday is going to be focused on corporate women. So if you want to come and get help with your leadership skills, we're going to have special sessions on Friday focused on corporate or professional women. And then Saturday is going to be focused on women that are either transitioning to their second act or that are entrepreneurs. So corporate women are going to definitely want to be a part of that. And even on Friday, entrepreneurs are going to want to be a part of that as well, because a lot of it's going to be about leadership skills and leading other people and managing teams. So if you want to get to a point where you have employees and you're managing them, you want to be there on Friday as well. But so it's November 2nd through the 4th. We're going to have it in El Segundo at the Hilton Garden Inn again.
Okay, fantastic. Miss Dawn, what's happening tonight?
Well, if you have time, come and join us for an amazing fundraiser, line dancing fun. We'll be at 3669 54th Street, Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church. We'll be there tonight doing line dancing for a great cause to support our homeless. Hope to see you soon.
Okay,
Bye.
can't wait for that. And lastly but not least, Recycling Black Dollars is starting its annual 90 and 90 membership drive. So we're looking for 90 new members in the next 90 days. And we have a membership ad combo. We're also doing our annual resource guide update. So again, your business should never be a secret. And even so, if we don't know who you are, we certainly can't support you. So you want to get your ad in the resource guide, which has been around for about 10 years. We probably we're very proud of that product, that directory.
As you should, yeah.
And so become a member of Recycling Black Dollars. It's important that we be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem.
Right.
All righty. So we're going to sign off for this week. We want to thank you for tuning in to the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and
Dawn.
And
Alicia.
And we will see you next Friday at the same time, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock at morrismedialive.com, or also Recycling Black Dollars. We're live on that Facebook page. We're live on Crystal's Facebook page. We're live on Don's Facebook page. And today we're live on Alicia's Facebook page. So anywhere you want to reach us, you can just go online and just type in the Business Zone with Crystal, Gilbert, and Don.
Gilbert.
Okay. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah.